Hi everyone, welcome to Stay Strong Online. I'm Aileen and I'm a registered physiotherapist and a Pilates instructor, and today's session is called Hips Don't Lie. It's called Hips Don't Lie for two reasons. The first is I'm a big fan of Szkwarek, and number two is your hips don't lie. Your hips tell a lot about how your body is working, if it's working efficiently, how your posture is. So let's talk a little bit about what the hip, and specifically the hip flexor, does. It does two things. Number one, it lifts your leg. Number two, it helps to flex your body forward. There are quite a few muscles in the hip flexor group. One of them, or two of them actually, come up into the lumbar spine and one into the lower thoracic. So if they're not working well and elongating, they're compromising your diaphragm, they're compromising your breathing, they're compromising your posture. You know that the tallest posture puts the least amount of stress on your spine and helps you with optimal breathing. And that's what we want to work towards, because some people are saying, well, why is she talking about hips when it's breast cancer that I've gone through? Although you're affected in one area, it's connected to the rest of your body. The other reason is we are a population of sitters. A lot of us sit when we're working. We're sitting when we're checking our emails to our family, or doing our banking at our computer. We're sitting when we're watching our sports or our favorite shows on TV. We're sitting when we go watch our kids play hockey. So we sit as a generation more than any generation prior to us. And when you're sitting, you are always tightening that hip flexor. So that hip flexor is pulling you forward. So I want to go through a few exercises that open up the hip flexor and a few stretches. You could do these daily. You could do one or two of them after you go for a walk, or you walk your dog and you just want to open up. But be aware of the length of your hip flexor. If any of these exercises cause pain, back off. So you should feel a stretch in your muscles or in your tissue, but I don't want you to feel pain. So let's start with standing up, feet parallel. The other thing that I want to talk about is many people come in and they have these collapsed arches or pronated feet. So that collapsing does nothing for my posture or alignment. So if you can, and when you start bending your knees, you bend in rather than aligning over your second toe. So if you can pull up those arches a little bit, engage your glutes a little bit, it will help to open up the hips. The collapsed arches, again, bring that internal rotation and tightness to the front of your body. If you have running shoes with some good arch supports, those I always recommend to wear around the house, because if you're pulled up, right, you're open. If you're collapsing, the flexors are pulling you forward, and that's not helping you with your healing, and just with how, not even with healing, but how you're feeling. I mean, if you're like this, I don't feel well walking around like this. But if I open up and I open up my chest, lower my shoulders, get that air entry through my body, I feel a lot better. So feet parallel, standing facing me. Let's just shift your hips a few times from one side to the other. And as you're doing this, just kind of take a couple of, it's almost like we're slow dancing back in high school, this movement. Side, just to side, just opening, shifting. And that's just a lateral shift of the hips. You feel that? Nice and easy. Now bring your feet together. Open up your feet. So this is almost like, they call it a Pilates V, a ballet first, but I don't want that first to be way out here. It's just where you're comfortable. As soon as you do that, again, if you bend your knees, the knees go over your second toes, you're opening up your hips. You have to engage your glutes and you open up those hips, right? Parallel not as much. Turned out, I'm opening the front part of my hips and my thighs and in this area. So we're going to do the same thing, but this time you're going to put a hand on your hip. You're going to shift to the side. You're going to lift your arm up and you're going to just stretch over. Take a deep breath. Still stretch up and out. Come back to the other side. Lift the arm over. Stretch up and out. Breathe in and out. To the other side. Over, up, stretch, and back. Make sure your feet are nice and relaxed. You're just shifting those hips over. Good. And back. Take your feet out to a wider stance. Keep that opening and just open those knees. Try to keep those knees over the toes so you're not collapsing in with the knees. We're going to do this 5 times. 1 and close. So really use that opening. 2 and close. 3 and close. Relax the shoulders. 4 and 5. Now let's just do it with the arms to get some movement in. Up and down. And open those knees. Don't pop the ribs. 2. Should feel your legs working now. 3. Good. And 4. Very good. Facing me directly. If you need a chair for support, bring one. We're going to do a standing hip flexor stretch. So just take a step forward, bend that front knee. The ball of my foot is at the back. So I'm bending the front knee. Now what I want you to do is tuck your tailbone under. You can feel that stretch just in the front. Just take a deep breath. Good. And come back. The other foot, step forward. Bend the front knee. Tuck underneath. Stretch and breathe. In and out. Good. Once on this side and once on the other side. Step forward, bend the knee. I'm parallel, tuck underneath, ribs in, breathe, and out. One more breath. And out. And again, if you need a chair, use a chair just for your balance. Bend, tuck, breathe in and breathe out. Beautiful. So we're going to do the same exercise or similar exercise kneeling. If you need, put a pillow underneath your shin or under your knee. If you can't kneel, skip this session or fast forward. So again, bring your leg in front. Now it's not just a lunge like this. What you have to do is rotate that pelvis down, just like you did in standing. And some people will do that and say, wow, as soon as they do that, they feel the stretch in the front of the hip flexor. Then you bend forward, keeping that tailbone down, and you can elevate the arm over top of the side. Bring it forward and open it up. Good, and then release. So get your stance, tuck, come forward. Let's just hold it for this time, not do the arm work, and breathe. And out. One more time, breathe, and out. Released. Third stretch on this side. This time take that front leg, move it out to the side a little bit, come forward and bend, tuck under and lean towards it. So you'll get a little more of a stretch on the inner thigh muscles, the adductors, as well as the hip flexors. Breathe in and breathe out and breathe in and breathe out. Now let's repeat this on the other side. So maybe I'll do it facing forward so you can see. Leg goes right in front of my hip, right? Tuck underneath, lean forward. So already you have that stretch, and you could add to the stretch, bringing the arm to the side, bring it forward, and then open it up to the back of you. Good. Come back. Again, this time just a straight, tuck underneath, lean forward, feel the stretch. Now breathe into the stretch. Like, take a breath and feel like the oxygen is going down into that muscle. Exhale. Breathe again. And exhale. And come back. Third time, take the leg out to the side a little more. Tuck under. Lunge forward. And then shift a little bit to that front. And you'll get more of the adductor muscle and the hip flexor right in here. And just take a deep breath. And once more, breathe in and exhale. Beautiful. Lying down on your back. You might want to grab a pillow or two for this one. So you're lying on your side, head down. Now I hope. So right now, front leg bent, back leg is going to move behind you, and you're going to reach forward with the opposite arm and then bring it in. So we're stretching. This is a very functional movement. Reach, 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 and come back. We're going to do 5 of these. This is number 3. Reach and come back. Am I on number 4? And come back and reach out and back. I can blame it on menopause brain. Over on the other side. Lying on your side. Pillow. Good. Front leg bent. Back leg extended. As the back leg reaches behind you, the front leg reaches. So you've got this nice diagonal pad for the front of the hip. And come in. This time I'm going to count. That's 1. Reach out. That's 2. Reach out. That's 3. Good. Reach out. 4. Remember to breathe. And 5. Good. On your back. No pillow for your head unless you're very rounded, okay? When we do bridging and pelvic rolls, we want to keep flat because we're putting some pressure on our upper back. But if your head is like this, use a little bit. Feet hip distance apart. I like to bring the heels quite close. Hands by the side. Take a big inhale. On the exhale, you're just going to melt the spine. Tilt that tailbone. Back to neutral. Take an inhale, exhale, melt. Now hold it there. Take an inhale, and then as you exhale, peel the tailbone off, peel the lumbar spine off, weight into your feet, hold, take a deep breath. On the exhale, lower the heart and the sternum first, then lower the ribs, lower the belly, and then straighten the tailbone. Let's do this a few times. Inhale, exhale, melt. Curl that tailbone, use your abdominals, reach the legs. So when we're up in this position, we're actually stretching the hip flexor. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, lower the heart, lower the ribs. So you're going segment by segment. Lower the lumbar spine, and then relax the tailbone. 2 more times. Inhale and exhale. Curl, reach, lengthen. Big breath at the top. Exhale as you lower the ribs, lower the lumbar spine, lower the tailbone. Inhale to stay. Exhale, melt the spine, curl the tailbone, reach out. Inhale at the top. Exhale, lower, 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 lower. Bring one knee into your chest. Extend the other one nice and long. Try to keep that tailbone up and push, counterbalancing, right? Take a deep breath in and exhale out. Another deep breath in and exhale out. Switch legs, other leg up, extended, deep breath in and extend. Another deep breath in and extend. Stretch that leg. Legs wide apart. So if you're on a mat, try to keep them on the outside of your mat. Palms out, shoulders open, ribs down. Rotate your legs towards me. There you should feel the stretch. 2 big breaths. And again. And rotate slowly to the other side. Feel the stretch. Pull the ribs in. Take deep breaths. Breathe in. And breathe out. Let's do this one more time on either side to finish off with. Over to the side. Take a deep breath in. And out. Deep breath in. And out. And last side. Over. Good. Ribs down. Take a deep breath in. And out. And in. And out. Good. So I hope that's given you a few things to think about. And just try to do some hip flexor stretches each day. Think about whether your feet are collapsed and whether you need to pull up those arches, which will open up the hips, or you need to put in some kind of insole or orthotic. Keep active and keep healthy, as healthy as you can. Stay strong, and hopefully we'll be able to see you next time. Bye for now.